Never outshine the master. Judgment. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. In your desire to please and impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite, inspire fear and insecurity. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. Transgression of the law. Nicolas Fouquet, Louis XIV's finance minister in the first years of his reign, was a generous man who loved lavish parties, pretty women, and poetry. He also loved money, for he led an extravagant lifestyle. Fouquet was clever and very much indispensable to the king. So, when the prime minister, Jules Mazarin, died in 1661, the finance minister expected to be named the successor. Instead, the king decided to abolish the position. This and other signs made Fouquet suspect that he was falling out of favor, and so he decided to ingratiate himself with the king by staging the most spectacular party the world had ever seen. The party's ostensible purpose would be to commemorate.
I'm about to show you something that makes me furious every time I see it. This is a roll tax return from someone making $284,972 a year.
You were not born to struggle. You were born rich in thought, in power, in possibility, but you have been trained to think poor. From childhood, you were told to wait, to hope, to depend. You were taught to trade your imagination for obedience, your desire for doubt, your faith for fear, and so the mind that could have commanded riches became a servant to circumstance. Tonight, that training ends. For the next 6 hours, while your body sleeps, your mind will awaken to the law that governs all wealth. It is the same law that lifted men from poverty to power, that guided Edison through 10,000 failures, that made Andrew Carnegie the richest man of his age, that whispered to Henry Ford when the world called him a fool. It is the law that whatever the mind can conceive and believe and repeat in faith, it can achieve. This is not a dream, it is a discipline. Every fortune ever created was first built in the dark, not with hands but with thoughts. Thought is the seed of every empire, every invention, every success. Yet thought left unguarded becomes the enemy of its master. The poor man thinks poverty. The fearful man rehearses failure. The doubter repeats his defeat until it hardens into habit. But the rich, the truly rich, use the night. They know the subconscious never sleeps. It is the fertile field where every suggestion takes root, where every belief multiplies. They feed it only the language of wealth, certainty, and purpose. They command it to obey success, and now so will you. Tonight, you will let 6 hours of unbroken law pour into your mind until poverty becomes impossible to you. These are not affirmations. They are commands, decrees, forged from the philosophy that has created more millionaires than any other body of knowledge known to man. Listen closely. The words you hear will travel beyond memory. They will pass the gate of reason and enter the realm of creation itself, the subconscious. There they will work while you rest. They will rearrange your doubts. They will dissolve your fears. They will replace every limiting belief with wealth consciousness, prosperity. You will begin with a new mind, a mind that expects opportunity, a mind that sees money not as chance, but as law, a mind that no longer asks, can I afford this, but commands, how shall I create it? For years you have been repeating the wrong lessons. You have listened to those who told you life is hard, money is scarce, and success belongs to the lucky. They were wrong. The law of success shows no favoritism. It obeys definiteness, faith, and persistent thought. And tonight, as these words reach the depths of your mind, that law will begin to serve you. Each hour of this speech is a ladder, from ignorance to understanding, from fear to faith, from limitation to dominion. The first hour will quiet the noise of the outer world. The second will cleanse your inner conversation. The third will rebuild your belief in cause and effect, that riches respond to definite desire. The fourth will train you to command money as a servant, not worship it as a master. The fifth will fortify your persistence until failure becomes fuel. And the sixth will seal these laws into your subconscious so firmly that even in your dreams, you will think wealth. You do not need to struggle for money. You need only to think rightly about it. Money is a shadow of service. It follows value. It obeys imagination backed by faith. And it flees from indecision, fear, and drift. For too long you have drifted, asleep while awake, working without vision, saving without purpose, earning without belief. But tonight, as you sleep, you will reverse the current. You will stop the drift. You will become definite. Let this be your command before you close your eyes. I am the master of my thought. I am the captain of my faith. I am rich in mind and therefore rich in life. Repeat it once aloud, then release it to your subconscious. For 6 hours I will speak to that hidden part of you, the part that never forgets, never rests, never argues. It will obey every word. It will begin to act tomorrow through your hands, your choices, your instincts, your voice. You will notice yourself thinking differently, walking differently, deciding faster, speaking with authority. You will feel the quiet confidence of one who knows wealth is inevitable. This is the transformation that happens not through effort, but through alignment. When the conscious and subconscious agree, none It expects sunlight and rain. It does not dig itself up to check progress. So must you. When worry attempts to intrude, remember, worry is faith in the negative. It is belief in the power of misfortune. Replace it instantly. Say, nothing can be withheld from me that is mine by right. All is unfolding and perfect openings will appear. This is not coincidence. It is the echo of your vibration. You have become magnet to your own belief. Some fear that expecting too much invites disappointment, that fear itself creates the very result it dreads. The universe measures not the size of your desire, but the strength of your belief. To expect small is to limit infinite supply. To expect greatly is to honor it. Others confuse expectation with pride. True expectation is humble, for it trusts law, not self. Pride demands personal credit. Faith gives thanks for divine order. The expectant man bows before principle and says, the law works through me, not because of me. Practice quiet expectation before sleep. Picture your future not as hope, but as memory. See yourself already enjoying the fruits of your labor. Feel the ease, the gratitude, the peace. Let that feeling sink into the subconscious as command. Each morning, act as if success were certain. Speak to others from confidence, not concealment. The world respects assurance and lends itself to it. When you meet difficulty, smile inwardly and say, this too serves my increase. Obstacles are but shadows cast by growing light. Expectation refines character. It teaches patience, courage, and joy. The expectant man carries a serenity that no adversity can shake. Others sense it and draw near, for they find peace in his confidence. The uncertain man repels help by his vibration of fear. The expectant attracts it naturally. You must expect before you see, for sight follows belief. No sculptor waits for marble to carve itself. He expects beauty and shapes it. No musician waits for harmony to arise by chance. He expects melody and commands it. So too must you expect your fortune into form. When discouragement visits, recall your previous victories. Each success, however small, is evidence of law. Review them until faith rekindles. Expectation feeds on remembrance. To dwell on failure is to water weeds. To dwell on success is to nourish harvest. The habit of expectation grows stronger through repetition. Each day you reaffirm, I expect the best, and the best comes to me. Eventually, it becomes reflex. You no longer hope, you know. And knowledge, once felt deeply, becomes law in action. In my own career, there were times when material evidence was scant, yet expectation never wavered. I spoke of my philosophy reaching millions while addressing dozens. I believe the invisible audience was already listening. That expectation turned imagination into worldwide movement. As you live in expectation, others will notice a difference. They will say, something about him has changed. He seems to know what will happen before it does. You will smile, for you understand that the future merely obeys its master. To strengthen this habit, practice these affirmations nightly. I expect success as naturally as I breathe. Every event moves me toward my desire. The law works unfailingly for my good. Speak them slowly, with warmth. Feel their truth rather than force it. Let your heart rest in certainty. The subconscious accepts ease as evidence of reality. Do not measure results prematurely. A child does not doubt growth because he cannot see it daily. Expectation works in the unseen until time reveals it. Hold faith quietly, and when results appear, they will seem sudden. But they are not. They are the sum of countless unseen agreements between your thought and the law. Every day that you expect, you build momentum. Every day that you doubt, you scatter it. The mind is a magnet, but it must point steadily in one direction. Decide your course and hold to it. The wind of circumstance may blow contrary, but your compass will remain fixed. The expectant man is never anxious. He does not ask if, he asks how soon. He walks through difficulty as through temporary fog, certain that the path continues beyond sight. Expectation gives him courage when others tremble, patience when others despair. This habit will change not only fortune but identity. The poor man asks life for permission. The rich man expects cooperation. Both speak to the same law. Only one is obeyed. Expectation gives authority to command. Say to yourself before rest, every event serves my increase. My tomorrow is richer than today. I expect wealth in all its forms, of mind, of spirit, of circumstance, and life fulfills my command. Let the words echo through you as you drift into sleep. The subconscious will take them as blueprint and work through the night to make them true. You will awaken lighter, calmer, stronger. People will sense in your voice a new assurance. They will trust you, for expectation breeds reliability. Opportunities will find you because your vibration has announced readiness. From this night forward, make expectation your constant companion. Let it walk beside you in thought, rest upon you in sleep, and go before you in action. Where you expect, creation follows. Do not wonder whether you deserve abundance. Expectation itself is the proof of worthiness. The law gives not to the needy, but to the expectant. Need declares lack. Expectation declares possession. Choose possession. Soon even your subconscious will forget that you ever doubted. It will act only upon the rhythm of faith. Then wealth will come so naturally that you will scarcely remember a time without it. That is the power of the master habit. Sleep now as one already rich. You have moved beyond wishing into knowing. The habit of expectation has taken root, and nothing can uproot it. The universe itself must obey, for it always mirrors the mind that commands with calm certainty. Money is not the master of life. It is the servant of purpose. It follows the man who serves. It flees from the man who demands without giving. To understand this law is to place yourself among those few who will never want. The universe pays in exact proportion to the value rendered and the spirit in which it is given. Every coin you receive is a certificate of service rendered. Behind every dollar stands an act of usefulness. The poor man curses money because he misunderstands it. He sees it as a tyrant, not a tool, a master, not a messenger, but wealth is obedient to the same law that governs breath. You must give to receive, and receive to give. To hoard is to suffocate. The truly rich understand that money is circulation. They do not chase it. They attract it by value. They do not beg for it. They command it by law. They do not worship it. They respect it as a reflection of inner order. Service is the magnet. Faith is the current. Money is the metal drawn by that current. Andrew Carnegie built libraries across nations because he believed that wealth is responsibility, not privilege. He knew that riches are loaned, not owned, and that the borrower must prove worthy of the loan. His generosity was not sentiment, it was obedience to law. He gave more than he received, and life multiplied his giving tenfold. Henry Ford created employment for thousands because he saw money not as treasure but as testimony. Each paycheck was proof that his service reached men's needs. He said to me once, "If my wealth does not move, it dies." That statement holds the essence of prosperity. Rockefeller tithed when his income was small, proving that the spirit of giving precedes the habit of abundance. He expected to serve, and therefore expected to be served. Every act of contribution enlarges the channel through which wealth flows. Every act of selfishness narrows it. The man who fears loss becomes a miser, and the miser lives in loss. He clings to what he has and blocks the inflow of more. The generous man opens his hands and keeps the current alive. What leaves him in service returns multiplied in form. You must change your inner relationship with money. Do not see it as something scarce or mystical. See it as loyal servant, ready to obey your thought. It moves where you direct, carries the tone you give, and mirrors your emotion. If you think of it with resentment, it withdraws. If you think of it with gratitude, it multiplies. Before sleep, speak kindly to money as to a faithful worker. You serve me well because I serve well. You flow freely to me and through me, doing good in every direction. The subconscious will take this as command and remove the fear that once repelled prosperity. Money has no conscience. It obeys the conscience of its holder. In the hands of the selfish, it destroys. In the hands of the wise, it builds. Therefore, the first duty of the prosperous man is to purify motive. Ask, how may I serve more perfectly? And fortune will answer, then I shall serve you. Service is the only secure foundation of riches. The man who seeks to get without giving may prosper for a season, but his fortune will crumble like a house without foundation. The law does not punish, it balances. You cannot take what you have not earned in some form of value. The quality of your service determines the permanence of your wealth. A merchant may sell cheaply and often, but if his spirit is small, his fortune will fade. Another may charge well for great worth and rise endlessly. The difference is not price, but vibration. Money flows to enthusiasm, honesty, and confidence. Your subconscious must see service as pleasure, not burden. If you resent labor, you choke the stream of reward. Approach each task with gratitude for the chance to express ability. Say, I am fortunate to serve, for service is the path of increase. The subconscious will make this attitude permanent and will draw clients, partners, and helpers who mirror it. Every morning, affirm this truth. I serve more, therefore I receive more. I circulate wealth with gladness. This statement, felt sincerely, releases invisible partners to act on your behalf. You will find new inspiration, new contacts, new paths for your abilities. These are the unseen rewards of the servant spirit. There is a spiritual arithmetic in this law. If you give 10 units of value, life returns 12. If you give grudgingly, life returns in kind. Measure not by time, but by contribution. 1 hour of inspired effort is worth a week of dull labor. Enthusiasm multiplies efficiency. Service cleanses greed from ambition. It transforms desire from hunger into harmony. When you think first of usefulness, you think in the same rhythm as infinite intelligence. That rhythm has never known failure. I have met men who worked only for pay and wondered why they remained poor. Their service ended with the clock, and so did their reward. But those who went the extra mile, who improved systems, who gave thought beyond the wage, those men rose. The world is always seeking the man who renders more than paid for. Gratitude is the twin of service. Together they form the gate of wealth. Be grateful for the chance to work, for every act of service trains you in mastery. Even the smallest task can be temple work if performed with devotion. The subconscious, observing your reverence, will shape greater tasks to match your spirit. When you give of your mind, time, or substance, imagine it expanding as it leaves you. Picture your service as seed carried by wind to fertile fields. Do not look for immediate return. Trust that the harvest grows unseen. Every good act sets in motion forces that cannot fail to reach you in due season. There is no poverty in service. The universe abhors vacuum. When you give freely, you create a void that must be filled. The more you give in value, the larger the return. This is not sentiment. It is mathematics of the mind. Many fear that others will take advantage of generosity. That fear belongs to those who give without faith. The man who serves from abundance cannot be cheated, for his supply flows from the infinite, not from men. If one channel closes, 10 open. The law protects those who obey it. Money responds to the feeling you hold while using it. Spend grudgingly, and it leaves in sorrow. Spend joyfully, and it returns singing. Bless every coin that passes through your hand. Say, go and return with your kind. This attitude keeps the current pure. When you receive, receive gratefully. To despise wealth while possessing it is to insult the giver. Accept with humility and purpose, and the flow increases. Every gift carries the responsibility of wise use. Waste is not generosity. It is ignorance of law. Service purifies ambition, but it does not forbid greatness. You are meant to prosper abundantly so that your example uplifts others. Your success proves that faith and law work. The man who hides his talent denies others the light of his demonstration. If your labor seems small or unnoticed, remember that no effort is lost. The subconscious records every impulse of sincerity. Life will repay in ways you cannot predict. A smile, a kind word, an extra thought in your work. These are deposits in the unseen bank of abundance. Before rest each night, review your service. Ask, did I give my best today? If not, imagine how you will tomorrow. See yourself rendering with joy, receiving with gratitude. This nightly rehearsal reprograms the subconscious to love service, and love attracts all that serves it. Say to yourself as you drift toward sleep, I serve more, therefore I receive more. Money is my servant, not my master. It obeys my faith and magnifies my usefulness. I circulate wealth with gladness, and it returns to me multiplied. Let these words sink like roots. Feel the calm of certainty replacing fear. The mind that loves service cannot know lack, for it works in rhythm with the source of all supply. Others will soon notice your transformation. They will feel drawn to you. Trust your word. Seek your counsel. They will say, he is fortunate in all he does. But fortune is simply faith in service made visible. Remember always that money is not substance, it is symbol. It represents faith exchanged between men. Strengthen that faith by honesty, efficiency, and goodwill, and the symbol will multiply. Do not hoard the symbol. Keep it moving. Pay cheerfully, invest wisely, give generously. The current you maintain determines the health of your fortune. Stagnant money breeds fear. Circulating money breeds peace. When you bless your income, it grows. When you curse expenses, they grow. Bless both. Say, every payment I make enriches another, and therefore enriches me. This is the language of masters. The subconscious, hearing such speech, keeps your supply continuous. In this unseen partnership of life, you and money are allies, not enemies. It waits only for your direction. Serve faithfully, command confidently, and it will move with precision. The miser commands by fear and is disobeyed. The wise command by faith and is served gladly. Soon you will see wealth as movement, not possession, as service, not struggle. You will handle it calmly, distribute it wisely, and increase it naturally. You will know that riches are merely the echo of usefulness multiplied. Sleep tonight as a steward of divine abundance. The law of unseen partnership now works for you. Your services recorded, your gratitude heard, your supply assured. You have ceased chasing money. Money now follows you, eager to serve. There comes a point in every great transformation when practice becomes nature, when what once required effort becomes effortless, and when faith no longer strives but simply is. That point is mastery. Wealth, once a pursuit, becomes identity. The rhythm of success, repeated long enough, becomes the heartbeat of your being. All growth follows rhythm. The stars move in rhythm. The tides rise and fall in rhythm. The seasons change in rhythm. The law of rhythm is the signature of creation. Every habit, good or bad, is rhythm crystallized into character. You are what you repeatedly think, feel, and do. No more, no less. Therefore, the final secret of all achievement is to control repetition until it controls you. Cosmic habit force, as I have called it, is the invisible governor of your destiny. It rewards precision, punishes confusion, and magnifies whatever it is given. It is utterly just. It will as faithfully perpetuate poverty as it will prosperity. It does not choose, it reflects. You and you alone determine the pattern it must multiply. At first, the discipline of thought seems like a burden. You must guard each idea, correct each mood, replace each doubt. But persistence makes it instinct. In time, you no longer monitor your thoughts. They obey automatically. Faith, once planted, becomes reflex. Decision becomes nature. Gratitude becomes your default song. Observe how the body learns by repetition. The blacksmith lifts the hammer daily until strength and rhythm merge. The pianist repeats scales until fingers move as if by magic. So too does the mind learn faith through repetition until belief becomes reflex. When that moment comes, fortune itself becomes habitual. Do not despise the slow pace of growth. Every lasting success is built one repeated act at a time. Sudden wealth, like sudden growth, lacks roots and soon collapses. The law demands rhythm for permanence. Build each thought upon yesterday's faith. Build each action upon yesterday's decision. The compounding of right repetition is the secret of unbreakable destiny. You must now make your wealth thinking permanent. Poverty is no longer your adversary. It is only a forgotten language. To think poor again would feel unnatural, as breathing underwater. This new rhythm of gratitude, service, expectation, and faith must govern your days as steadily as your pulse. Each morning begin with the same ritual. Sit quietly, feel calm certainty, and affirm, I am wealth in thought, faith in action, abundance in being. Let the words become rhythm. The subconscious, trained by constancy, will answer with harmony. The undisciplined man lives in bursts, one day inspired, the next defeated. The master lives by rhythm. His victories are not accidents. They are inevitable byproducts of consistent mental order. You will recognize this rhythm by its peace. Excitement is temporary, peace is permanent. When wealth thinking settles into peace, it has taken root. Rhythm is the shield against adversity. When outer conditions shake, inner rhythm holds. You will not collapse in sudden loss, for your habits will automatically rebuild. Faith, trained by repetition, cannot forget its pattern. Like a river diverted, it will find a new path to the sea. The truly successful man does not rely on mood. He relies on law. He knows that every act of gratitude, every decision of faith, every repetition of abundance fortifies habit. He may grow weary, but he never grows doubtful, for doubt has no place left to live in a mind organized by rhythm. Consider Edison. 10,000 experiments failed to yield his electric lamp, yet he repeated the rhythm of faith and discovery daily. When the final success appeared, it was not luck. It was the mathematical result of repetition. Habit had made failure impossible. Lincoln failed in business, lost elections, and suffered ridicule. Yet his rhythm of patience and moral steadiness could not be broken. Each defeat strengthened his rhythm. When triumph finally came, it came permanently, for his character had earned it. Carnegie's rhythm was generosity. Ford's rhythm was decision. Rockefeller's rhythm was order. Each found his pattern and repeated it until it became identity. You must do the same. Find your dominant rhythm, service, faith, imagination, or gratitude, and make it your unbroken habit. Your repetition of thought is like the swing of a pendulum. Each return strengthens the motion until it moves of its own accord. The time will come when success no longer feels like striving, but like breathing. That is the mark of permanence. The danger now is complacency. When habit becomes automatic, vigilance may fade. Guard against drift. Review your purpose daily. Rhythm is maintained only by conscious renewal. The violin must still be tuned, even after years of play. Establish morning and evening anchors to preserve rhythm. Begin each day with affirmation. End each night with gratitude. These are the pillars between which success flows. Miss one, and the current weakens. Keep both, and the current becomes unstoppable. The subconscious learns from consistency, not intensity. One act repeated calmly each day outweighs bursts of excitement followed by neglect. The universe rewards faith sustained, not faith displayed. Calm repetition engraves law into character. When adversity visits, remember that rhythm will carry you through. Habit will do what willpower once did. You will find yourself responding automatically with faith where once you trembled. You will speak calmly where once you complained. This is proof that wealth thinking has become nature. Every cell of your being learns from repetition. When you think abundance daily, the body relaxes, the voice steadies, the gaze clears. People feel your certainty before you speak. They call it charisma, but it is only rhythm of thought made visible. Gratitude is the metronome of abundance. It keeps rhythm steady when emotion falters. When uncertainty rises, give thanks for what is already secure. Health, mind, opportunity, and the rhythm will return. Gratitude is repetition of faith in its gentlest form. Understand that cosmic habit force never sleeps. It repeats in every corner of creation. If you fail to control it, it controls you. Drift is merely negative rhythm, the repetition of inattention. By thinking daily without purpose, you have served poverty. Now by thinking daily with definiteness, you serve wealth. The subconscious no longer questions your command. It has accepted wealth as your natural state. To think otherwise would violate its rhythm. Poverty cannot return because it no longer has a pattern to inhabit. The mind, once disciplined, becomes loyal beyond measure. Others will notice your constancy. They will marvel that nothing shakes your faith. They will say, he was born lucky. You will smile, knowing luck is only long rhythm meeting long patience. Let the law work in peace. Do not strain for results. Strain interrupts rhythm. Confidence sustains it. When the farmer has planted in fertile ground, he does not dig each morning to check the seed. He trusts the rhythm of nature. So must you. Your repetition of thought must now extend to repetition of character. Speak kindly always. Work precisely always. Think gratefully always. Each act fortifies identity. Wealth is not an event. It is a continual expression of ordered mind. Before sleep, affirm quietly, the rhythm of success beats in every thought I hold. I am wealth in thought, faith in action, abundance in being. What I repeat, I become. What I am, I create. Repeat it until you feel the pulse of law in your chest. This rhythm is not metaphor. It is power moving through you. Infinite intelligence expresses itself through the man who keeps step with its harmony. In time, your surroundings will synchronize with your inner order. People of similar rhythm will appear. Circumstances will match your pattern. You will notice that life runs smoother, that coincidences favor you. that obstacles yield. It is not chance. It is rhythm aligning outer with inner. When doubt attempts return, it will feel foreign, like a forgotten dialect. You will smile at it as one might smile at an old ghost. The new identity holds too firm a rhythm to be shaken. You have sealed wealth into being. From this point, you no longer try to succeed. You express success. You no longer reach for abundance. You release it. The law has become part of your heartbeat. Faith breathes you now. Others will look to you for guidance, drawn by your calm certainty. Teach them not by argument, but by example. Let them witness rhythm in your conduct, grace in your speech, peace in your decisions. In you, they will see the evidence that the law of success is not theory, but rhythm incarnate. And so the circle closes. Desire became faith. Faith became repetition. Repetition became rhythm. Rhythm became destiny. You have fulfilled the formula that governs all creation. Rest now as master of your fate. The law no longer needs reminding. It has taken residence in your being. The rhythm of permanence hums quietly within you, carrying your every thought toward fulfillment. Sleep with these words upon your mind. I am wealth in thought, faith in action, abundance in being. The rhythm of success moves through me as life itself. What I have built in thought, I now live in peace. Let the words dissolve into stillness. The subconscious has received its final command. It will repeat this rhythm unceasingly, even in dreams. Wealth is no longer something you seek. It is what you are. The world tomorrow will not have changed, but you will. And because you have changed, the world must follow. You have sealed success into identity. You have become rhythm itself. Stop everything you are doing and listen with the intensity of a man who has decided to attract so much money he will never struggle or spend it all in this lifetime. You say you want money. You say you want freedom. But I say you do not yet want it badly enough, because if you did, you would have it. The man who truly demands riches from life, with definiteness, with burning desire, with unrelenting persistence, cannot be denied. So let me be plain. If you are broke, it is not because life is unfair. It is because your mind is still cheap. You have allowed fear to reason with you. You have allowed doubt to sit at your table. You have waited for a better moment, a better mood, a better economy. But I tell you now, there is no better moment than now. There is no future for the man who delays. There is only decay. Decay of belief, decay of purpose, decay of wealth. Do you think riches are a gift? They are not. They are claimed. Do you think wealth is earned through luck or lineage? It is not. It is constructed brick by brick by the thoughts you permit and the actions you repeat. And I will prove it to you, not with fantasy, not with empty praise, but with law. The law of definiteness, the law of faith, the law of organized action, the law of cosmic habit force. So listen closely, because you have never truly been poor. You have only been undisciplined. You have never been locked out. You have only failed to knock with authority. And you have never been denied money. You have simply not yet become the type of man it obeys. But if you listen to this speech with decision, if you silence every excuse and demand mastery, if you repeat the affirmations with absolute belief, then I promise you, your name will soon be written among the rich. Now take a breath. Write down your definite aim and listen to every word of what comes next, as if your life depends on it, because it does. And if you obey, money will come. So much you won't even know where to put it. You were not born to be poor. No man is issued into life with the decree of poverty stamped on his soul. You were born rich in thought, rich in power, rich in the spiritual essence of dominion. But you were taught, conditioned, hypnotized, trained to expect limitation. You were raised to believe that wealth is for the few, that riches are a reward only for the clever or the lucky. That is a lie. The poverty you've known was learned, and what was learned can be unlearned. I speak now to that part of you which never agreed to be poor, the part that still dreams at night of more, still imagines freedom, still feels anger in the presence of bills and chains. That part of you is correct. You are meant for more, but thought alone is not enough. Vague hope is not a plan. Yearning is not a command. Money is not an emotion nor a myth. It is a tool. It responds not to desperation, but to definiteness. It bends its will not to those who wait, but to those who decide. It is a loyal servant to the man who has mastered himself. And it vanishes in the presence of the man who cannot control his thoughts, his emotions, or his purpose. Let me say this plainly. Riches do not enter the drifting mind. They pass it by. They do not dwell in the undecided, the uncertain, the unclear. The riches of life, the abundance of money, of influence, of time, of peace, belong to the man who declares ownership with unwavering intent and commands his world with ordered thought. There is a gate. It is invisible, and it separates the man who wishes from the man who wills. It is not out there in the world. It is within your own mind. The gatekeeper is your subconscious, and the passcode is definiteness. If your desire is weak, if your plan is vague, if your actions are inconsistent, the gate remains locked. But if you issue the right command, if your desire burns, if your voice rings with certainty, if your purpose is made clear and constant, then the gate swings wide, and the treasures you seek begin their motion toward you. This is not mysticism. It is not luck. It is not the mercy of fortune. It is law. Riches obey law. And that law is this: desire plus faith plus decision plus persistence equals wealth. This is the formula. It is not optional. Remove one part and the structure collapses. Combine them and life must give you what you ask, no matter how large, no matter how far. Desire is the fuel. It must be burning, white-hot, persistent, unshakable. A passing wish will not do. A soft yearning is not enough. You must want it like a starving man wants bread, like a drowning man wants air, like a mother wants to save her child. Without that fire, no force will respond to your request. But desire alone is not enough. You must possess faith, not the faith of religious recitation, but faith as a state of mind, an internal conviction that your riches are already yours, though your hands have not yet touched them. Faith must be cultivated, built, repeated, reinforced. It is planted by repetition and watered by belief. Next is decision, swift, final, unchangeable. The man who hesitates is lost. Life does not favor the one who considers endlessly, who weighs every possibility, who fears error more than failure. You must choose what you want. Choose it fully. Choose it now. Choose it boldly and let no opinion alter it. Then comes persistence, the bridge between thought and result. Most men begin. Few men continue. The man who persists is rare. He is the one who keeps moving when others rest, who believes when others doubt, who acts when others retreat. And he is the one to whom money ultimately surrenders. These four forces, desire, faith, decision, persistence, are the magnetic combination. Together they form the current that moves money. They are not emotional. They are not hopeful. They are mechanical. They are spiritual. They are law. If you master them, you will draw riches to yourself in measures far beyond your current comprehension. The gate to wealth is not locked by society. It is not guarded by banks or governments or systems. It is locked by your own lack of discipline. And it is unlocked only by the definiteness of your thought, enforced by the power of your will. The key is in your possession now, but the question remains, will you use it? This speech will show you how. Not with empty phrases, not with theories, but with law-bound instruction. Each part will reveal a new key, a deeper step, a stricter command. This is not a speech for the casual listener. It is for the one who has decided, I will be rich. I will have freedom. I will never bow to limitation again. Repeat this after me and repeat it daily. I now demand of life unlimited wealth, and I offer in return unwavering purpose, relentless action, and service that exceeds the ordinary. Say it aloud. Say it again, not with doubt, not with passivity. Say it with force. Say it with fire. Say it as a man who no longer asks but commands. And the subconscious, the gatekeeper, will begin to listen. And once it listens, it must obey. For the subconscious accepts all commands impressed with emotion and certainty. If you repeat that sentence with belief, every day, every morning, and every night, then life itself will begin to shift. Ideas will come. Opportunities will rise. Allies will appear. Energy will increase. And the man you once were will begin to dissolve, replaced by the one who rules, the one who directs, the one who builds his fortune from thought alone. So understand this now. Money is obedient. It is not spiritual in nature, but it is spiritual in obedience. It flows where order is present. It flees the presence of chaos. If your mind is unorganized, if your speech is careless, if your actions are hesitant, you repel money. But if your mind is definite, your thought is bold, your words are clear, then riches are magnetized to you. Your life thus far has been the result of what you have permitted. Your future will be the result of what you now command. And what you command must be born of a burning desire, a relentless faith, a definite decision, and persistent execution. That is the price. That is the passage. And when you pay it, life will pay you. You are poor only to the degree that you are indefinite. Do not argue with this truth. I have studied thousands of men across every walk of life, from penniless clerks to industrial titans, and without exception, the wealthiest were also the most definite. They knew what they wanted, down to the inch, the dollar, and the hour. The world yields to the man who knows where he is going. All others are ignored. The vague are punished. The undecided are forgotten. But the definite man, he is remembered, he is sought after, and he is paid. Not because he is better than others, but because he does what others will not. He chooses with precision, and he never looks back. Riches respond only to definite aims, not hopes, not general intentions, not scattered desires, but a definite chief aim, written clearly, spoken aloud daily, impressed upon the subconscious with emotion and fire. This aim becomes your North Star. It becomes your identity. It becomes the magnet that draws all required elements to you. Write down your financial goal. Exactly. The number, the timeline, the form. Do not say, I want to be rich. That is not a command. That is a whisper. And the subconscious does not obey whispers. It obeys thunder. It obeys certainty. It obeys the voice of a man who will not accept denial. Set your number. I will earn $1 million. Set your time. By the end of this year, set your plan. Through my business, through my skill, through value rendered above all expectation. And then read this aim aloud every morning as you rise and every night before you sleep. Your definite chief aim must be the first voice you hear and the last thought you recall. Let me tell you about Edwin C. Barnes. He had no money, no connections, no prestige, but he had a definite chief aim, to become business partners with Thomas Edison. He did not wish for it. He decided it. He declared it. He announced it to his own mind and then to Edison's front desk. They laughed. They sent him away. He stayed. He waited. He served. He proved himself indispensable. And one day, the opportunity came. A product needed selling. No one else could sell it. Barnes did. He did not earn riches by luck. He earned them by definiteness. His riches began the moment he decided. This is the law. Life begins to respond the moment you do. The subconscious does not require proof. It requires instruction. And the instruction it follows is autosuggestion, the repeated emotional declaration of your goal. Each time you speak your aim with belief, you deepen the groove in the subconscious. And what is impressed there, life must express outward. Autosuggestion is no idle chant. It is spiritual repetition, enforced with intensity. If you say something long enough and with enough emotional weight, your subconscious will accept it as reality. And your body, your mind, your habits, your decisions will all begin to obey it without resistance. So I command you, speak your aim, not just once, not when you feel good, not when you are inspired, but twice a day, every day, without fail, morning and night. Say it as a man who believes it. Say it as a man who is building it. Say it as a man who would rather die than live without it. Say this now. I am the type of person who knows exactly how much I desire, and I move toward it daily with absolute purpose. Say it again. Make it your oath. Let no mood rob you of your declaration. Let no delay silence your direction. Let no criticism shake your voice. Say it until it becomes the foundation of who you are, and understand the act of decision is the moment riches begin to stir in motion. You may not see them yet. You may not feel them. But below the surface, forces are gathering. Ideas are forming. People are being prepared. Doors are beginning to unlock. Why? Because you have decided. And most men never do. They drift. They change their goals weekly. They get excited and then stop. They listen to opinions. They trust the news more than their own vision. They ask the world for permission. And so the world ignores them. But when a man makes a decision, speaks it, and acts on it daily, the universe itself adjusts around him. You do not need to know how. You do not need to know when. You only need to know what. What do you want? What amount? What date? What value will you give in return? Write it, say it, obey it. That is your job. The rest will follow. But if you delay the writing, if you skip the speaking, if you betray your aim with inaction, then do not wonder why money avoids you. Let your aim be bold. Do not fear asking for much. Life does not punish the large dreamer. It punishes the timid one. Ask big. Declare large. Say, I demand riches of life in great abundance, not for greed, but because I am ready to give great service, produce great value, and obey great discipline. And when you fail, and you will fail at times, return to your aim. When you doubt, and you will doubt, read your aim aloud. When you are tired, when you are discouraged, when you see no evidence of progress, read your aim, because the man who continues to declare his purpose in the absence of proof becomes unbeatable. This is why the definite chief aim is the first lesson in every system of success. It is the root, the seed, the hinge upon which all else turns. Without it, nothing works. With it, all things begin to move. No riches will come to the man who is undecided, and no failure can remain with the man who is definite. So let the world doubt. Let the critics speak. Let time delay. Let others quit. But you will speak your aim. You will read it. You will write it. You will walk it, live it, breathe it, and enforce it until it becomes visible. For nothing else is required, and nothing else will do. Now pick up your pen, write your aim, say it aloud, repeat it again, and understand. This is the vault key, and once turned, it can never be reversed. All riches begin in the unseen world of thought. They are not first measured in coins, nor in ledgers, nor in bank accounts. They are first formed in the workshop of the mind, crafted from belief, shaped by desire, and brought to life through faith. Before money touches your hands, it must be possessed in thought. Let me speak plainly. Faith is the only currency that can be spent before riches arrive. It is the invisible builder, the silent architect, the power that binds cause to effect. Without faith, your desires collapse into daydreams. Your plans become hesitation. Your energy weakens, but with faith, true faith, you become unstoppable. Faith is not belief. It is not hope. It is not the fragile optimism of a man waiting for better days. Faith is a mental state, an inner certainty so strong that doubt cannot enter. Faith is built like muscle through repetition. It is created like fire by friction, and it must be protected like a treasure, for the world will seek to steal it from you. Let me remind you of a man named Andrew Carnegie. He had no wealth in his youth, but he had an unshakable belief in the law of success. He believed that thought, organized with definiteness, could be transmuted into anything, even a steel empire. And it was this belief that caused him to entrust me with the mission of gathering and teaching these principles. He did not ask me to report facts. He asked me to uncover law. And he paid me not with dollars, but with faith. Faith that this system would change the world. Faith that every man who applied it could rise regardless of background, race, or education. That faith carried me through 25 years of study, and it now carries you through this moment. So I ask you, what do you truly believe? Do you believe that money is coming to you? Or do you secretly fear that it never will? Do you declare your desire aloud each day with conviction? Or do you whisper it quietly, afraid that the world might mock you? Because listen to me carefully. Your results will match your faith. Not your want, not your need. Your faith. And faith is built. It is not given. You do not wait for it, you create it. How? Through autosuggestion. Through daily repetition. Through emotional reinforcement. By speaking your definite chief aim aloud with power and consistency, until your subconscious accepts it as a fact. You may not believe it yet. That is acceptable. Belief is not required to begin. But if you speak your aim daily, with emotion, with structure, with persistence, faith will awaken within you. It will rise like a fire, first small, then blazing, and soon nothing will shake it. This is not theory. It is the experience of every man who has transformed his life. Let me issue a warning. Faith must be guarded, for it is easily stolen by voices of failure, by memories of defeat, by the laughter of doubters. One seed of doubt, if allowed to grow, can poison the entire harvest. You must defend your belief as a war.